Hey, it's Mario here, and in this video we're going to go into how to set weight loss goals. So how do you set up yourself for success? The first part of this video, I want to go into some research studies on actual goal setting and certain things you can do to maximize the chance you're going to achieve your result. And the second part, I'm going to go over quickly, what is a healthy target? How much weight should you aim to lose per week? So looking at the research on the first part of the video is how to set your goals. Well, one really good study from 2013, they looked at what happens if people set a goal like losing 1 to 3 pounds per week versus just saying I'm gonna lose 2 pounds per week. And this was a study where they took people from Weight Watchers, and the group that was given a range, so between 1 and 3 pounds per week, actually lost more weight. And not only that, but they were more motivated to continue the diet and do the diet again. And that range really plays well with our psychology, because if you give yourself just a specific number, you're gonna be feeling like a failure when you don't achieve that number. So let me give you an example. Let's say you wanna lose about 12 pounds, and typical advice would be, well, you're gonna do a 12-week diet, you're gonna lose 12 pounds, you're gonna do 1 pound per week, and that's gonna be the end result. Well, it's probably a better idea to set yourself up like, I'm gonna lose between 10 and 14 pounds in that course of a period. That's going to give you a little bit more flexibility, so you're going to get out of that all or nothing mentality. And even those days that you don't feel so motivated, that you don't feel like you want to crush it, you're still going to think, well, at least I got that lower end of the goal to achieve, so you're less likely to fall off track. And if you fall off track, you're more likely to come back on track because you don't feel like a failure now, because there is that lower end of the goal to achieve, because there's still something to lose, right? So if you give people, and if you give yourself, and I remember myself, if I just tell myself, well, I'm going to lose 2 pounds this week, if I don't, I feel like a failure and I feel like I've lost everything, right? But if I give myself a range, I feel like, well, there's still something I can get, so I kind of go for it. It's a really, really good study that showed this. I mean, I'll leave the study, of course, in the description below for you guys that want to read in depth what happened there. And the second study that I really want to mention here, and there's a whole bunch of studies on implementing intentions from University of New York, there's some from British, that were posted in the British Journal of Health Psychology, is basically you want to set exactly when and where that thing is going to take place that's going to get you to your goal. So let's take back that example of losing 12 pounds in 12 weeks, or let's say 10 to 14 pounds. What use does that goal have once you set it? Well, practically nothing, because that goal is not going to happen by itself. You can remind yourself of your goal, you can visualize the goal, you can use the power of the quote-unquote secret and all that nonsense, but it's not going to happen. How is it going to happen? Well, if you break down that goal into very, very specific actions that you need to do to actually achieve that goal, and then set the exact time and exact place when those actions are going to take place, then you actually have a chance of achieving that goal, and you will triple your chances according to the research. I mean, in this particular study from the British Journal of Health Psychology, people who just said exactly when and where they're going to exercise, and they had a plan, actually managed to stick to that plan 3 times more than a group that was motivated, like they were given a pep talk and they were given all these benefits of exercise, like all this stuff. That motivation didn't help at all compared to people who just simply set it in their schedules and they just follow through. So you want to kind of surrender to your schedule. If you have a certain goal that you want to achieve, break it down into actions. Let's say your goal is tomorrow to stick to about, let's say, 1,800 calories, and you've divided that, you want to lose, let's say, a certain amount of weight per week, and you figured out, okay, it's like 1,800 calories per day tomorrow, and your breakfast is 600 calories. Well, that is a very specific goal, but even you can take it further and say, well, for breakfast, I'm going to have this and this food, and I'm going to be in a rush tomorrow, so let me prepare that the night before. So you kind of pre-plan, soak your oats, boil your eggs, add some raspberries or strawberries or vanilla or whatever you want to add to that. And it's kind of very specific because you've implemented that intention. You know exactly what's going to happen the next day, or you set up an exact schedule of these are the days of the week when I'm going to exercise. This is the exact time. This is the gym. This is when it's going to happen. I mean, when you have this, when you have that exact intention and when you have it broken down, you're very, very likely to stick to it, because you can simply surrender to the schedule. It's already a pre-made decision. You don't have to waste your energy to figure out, oh, when I'm going to go to the gym. It's already set, and you can just follow through. Just following through is incredibly powerful. So implement intentions, even write it down. And this is something that I think a lot of people are doing. And even though in today's age we have Evernote, we have like you don't need to use pen and paper. When I say write it down, you just use Evernote. You can use you can just put it on your desktop wallpaper. You can put it in your Google Calendar. That's a method that I use. And you just surrender to Evernote, surrender to the Google Calendar, surrender to the desktop background. You know, it just says there that you have to do it, and you just simply do it. And that's a really, really good way to doing it, because you get it out of your head, so it's kind of has a tangible thing. Okay, it's there and I have to do it, and you will follow through. The second part of the video that I want to mention here is because a lot of people have been asking, well, what is a healthy kind of range of weight loss? Well, it really depends on your body fat. How much body fat you have, and it kind of makes sense that how much that will determine how much you can lose. And if you're someone above 20% body fat, if you really have a lot of belly fat, and if you're generally chubbier, you can aim to lose between 1 and 1.5% of body weight per week. That's a very healthy range of weight loss that you can aim for without any problems. If you're someone who is between, let's say between 14 and about 20%, you're kind of that range where you're closer to that six-pack, I would say to aim between 0.5% to 1%, leaning more toward 1%. The closer you get to, obviously, to a six-pack, less and less you want to lose per week. And then if you are at that six-pack level, and if you're someone who's really looking to get ripped and shredded and step on a stage, I mean, the top range would be about 0.5% per week. I would say if you want to retain your muscle mass, if you want to retain your strength, and you want to retain your energy in general for functioning life, that would be my suggestion. So just a quick couple of numbers. All this is going to be, of course, in the key points in the description below for you guys to review. All the studies will be linked as well for you to look into. Let me know in the comments, find this helpful. In general, have you fallen in trap? This is something I'm curious. Have you ever fallen in a trap of just thinking about a goal, daydreaming about a goal, imagining that goal, but you never really broke it down into actions? Because I know I was guilty of this. I would often imagine myself, oh, I'm gonna read more, I'm gonna read this thing, and I'm gonna research this thing, but I never really put it in actual actions, so it never happens. Have you fallen to this trap before? So let me know in the comments below. Aside from that, make sure to hit that subscribe button below to support the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.